Hello, my name is Chris, and today I have a confession to make. You see, normally when we get together here on YouTube, we talk about quitting smoking, and I tell you things like the 5 things that nobody ever told you were going to happen to you when you quit smoking. Or we talk about what it's like to be a year smoke-free. It may be that you've come to this video today after watching that video I posted when I was a year off the cigarettes a couple of weeks ago. You may have even got here by that video I posted a long time ago when I was 100 days smoke-free. If you saw either of those videos and you're here now, I'm so glad you could join us today. But this video has nothing to do with cigarettes. We are not going to talk about smoking or quitting smoking at all. Because today I want to tell you my secret. Shh. Today I want to make a confession to you. And that confession is this. I am a recovering alcoholic. And today I am 5 years sober. Why am I sharing all this on YouTube? Why am I telling everybody about it like a crazy person? 2 reasons really. The first is that down the line I do want to make more videos about quitting smoking, and at some point I want to compare what it was like being addicted to cigarettes and what it was like being addicted to alcohol, and also to talk a little bit about addiction in general. So when I did that, I wanted you guys to have a little bit of background about me and where I'm coming from. I'm not just some guy who's plucking this stuff out of thin air. I'm not just someone who googled a couple of facts and then made a video. The stuff I'm sharing with you is my life. It always was my life, it always is my life, and it always will be my life. Staying sober and smoke free today are things that take up, a good part of my life these days. So as part of that, I wanted to share my story with you. I wanted to get very, very honest with you about where I'm coming from. The second reason for sharing this today is simply this. It has been 5 years since I had a drink, and in that 5 years I have barely once hit the pause button and just looked back to see how far I've come and to figure out how the heck I got from where I was to where I am today. My life in sobriety is so different that sometimes I look around and I don't recognise it. And I cannot figure out for the life of me. I'm like, how the hell did I get here? This is insane. From what my life used to be like, which was horrible. You see, compared to some people, my actual drinking, I hate the word drinking career, but let's go with that. Compared to some people, the amount of time I drank wasn't as long as it was with some other people. I only drank alcoholically for 12 years. But trust me, those 12 years were more than enough. And in those 12 years, I waged a complete war of destruction against everyone and everything around me. As a result of my drinking, I lost friends, I lost jobs, I lost a beautiful wife. I was married to the most amazing woman. I loved her with all my heart. But because of the way I behaved and the things I did and said in active alcoholism, she couldn't stay with me. And today I don't blame her one bit. I've made peace with that relationship and I'm glad that she's happy today. But I'm still a bit sad that it ended because of my drinking. As a result of the divorce, I also lost my house. I lost a ton of money because being an active alcoholic is expensive. It so is. And by the time I was done, I had nothing left but misery, fear, despair, self-loathing, low self-esteem, depression, you name it. And I took all those horrible things and I put them in a box, and I shoved that box as far to the back of the wall as it could go, and I didn't deal with any of it. I just kept drinking, and by the time I was done, I was living in the box room at my parents' house. And trust me, I can't even describe to you in words how small this box room was. It was like just about as wide as you can fit on this YouTube screen here. So yeah. I lived in the box room, but my relationship with my family was already beginning to get strained, and I don't know how much longer I would have been welcomed there. I had no money, I had no job, I had no friends, I certainly didn't have a girlfriend, I had very little hope, I looked like crap, I probably smelled like crap, I was filthy, I was a wreck, I was physically, mentally, spiritually and certainly financially just broken, just destroyed from head to toe and all around, just destroyed. And what made a change for me was that for years before I quit drinking, I felt this, I always call it the aching void, something in the pit of my soul that just felt like it was missing and that just made me unhappy. And I'd searched all kinds of things. I tried religion, I tried, I ran the London Marathon just to try and get myself in shape, and maybe exercise will be this thing that will fill this aching void. And nothing did. But at some point I did meet people who had recovered from a drink problem, and they were sober and they were happy. And I remember at the end of my drinking sat there thinking, there are people who are sober and happy, and then there's me who is drunk off my ass and miserable as sin. One of us has got this very, very wrong, and I don't think it's the happy sober people. So I prized myself away from that drink, and I went and found those people, and I was there to throw myself at the mercy and say, please help me, please help me. Because I realised now that I could not do it on my own. If I wanted to be sober and happy, I could not do it by myself. I needed to get some proper help. Because I had tried to quit drinking on my own, and it was a disaster. I mean, I may have strung together a day's sobriety, or a week without drinking, at most a week without drinking. But it wasn't sobriety as I know it to be today. It was a literal white knuckle hell ride from one drink to the next. And every day it was just clinging on until I reached a point that I could cling on no longer and had to drink. And when I drank, I would get a moment, the tiniest, teeniest little moment of relief, followed by chaos, misery, despair, destruction. It all came flooding back. And then I'd get back on the white knuckle hell ride, do the whole thing again, and the next time I took a drink was worse than the last time. And the next time was worse than that, and the next time was worse than that, and the next time, you get it, right? And then I would get up in the morning after, sometimes the afternoon after, try to function. Oh my goodness. You've not only got the physical after effects, the hangover, you've got the guilt, the shame, the remorse, the oh God, what the hell did I do last night? Who did I upset? To me, those feelings, sometimes there were no words for them. Sometimes it was just like a lurking, dirty feeling in the pit of my gut that just made that aching void deeper and more painful. There were days I could not tolerate that. The only way I knew to get away with it, to get away from it, was to take a drink. So I'd take another drink, and I'd cause more chaos, and I'd wake up the morning after and I have to deal with those same feelings, and I couldn't deal with them because I still hadn't dealt with the last lot. So I'd take another drink and I'd cause more chaos and I'd have more hangovers. And this maniacal merry-go-round would just go round and round. The only way I was getting off was when it threw me off. So when I found people that were sober and happy, I wanted that. I wanted it more than anything. And that was the key for me, you see. If a genie had come at that point in time, I knew there'd be no point me asking for money, because I would just spend it all on alcohol. If he offered me a job, I wouldn't turn up because I'd be hammered all the time. If he offered me friends or a girlfriend or relationship, I knew that my drinking, my self-destructive behaviour would put an end to all that. So I knew I had to want sobriety first. And the result of getting sober, all that other stuff would come to me. And oh, did it come to me. I have a beautiful life today. Very beautiful life. I no longer live in that box room at my parents' house. I live in my own place, and you came round, you might not think it's a palace, but I think it's a palace. It is mine. It's just the way I like it. I love it. I feel safe. It's my, I always call it my haven and my sanctuary, and it's mine. It's not a box room at my parents' house. From this palace of mine, I set up my own business, doing something that I have loved to do since childhood. My business became successful on my terms. And that, getting my own place back and starting my own business, that was only tip of the iceberg stuff. The real joys were making new friends, new sober friends. Friends that were actually friends and not just drinking buddies. The kind of friends who care about you and I care about them. I was able to have a relationship that ended a while ago, but to have a relationship with somebody sober and not have my drinking as the reason it ended. I got a newfound sense of self-respect. I got a newfound sense of self-confidence, of freedom, of happiness, of peace. Oh my God, the peace I experienced today is unbelievable, especially in the morning. And that to me is the greatest gift that I've been given in sobriety. It is getting up in the morning. Like I said, when I used to get up, whether it was in the morning, whether it was the middle of the afternoon, whatever time it was, there was always the wretched, vile, horrible, physical attack of a hangover. But what was worse than that was the guilt, the shame, the remorse, the self-pity, the self-loathing, the hatred. Sometimes feelings that I couldn't even attach a name to. Just feelings that were like a grey, dirty, smelly feeling in the pit of my gut that just made that aching void wider and more painful. That was quite often too hard to deal with. So I'd have to get that next drink, I'd have to get back on that merry-go-round, and that maniacal merry-go-round would spin me into some kind of evil creature and spit me out when it was done and leave me broken. And that doesn't happen to me anymore. I wake up in the morning these days, and for the first few moments of my day, I do absolutely nothing. I just lie there and I just sit back and I just go, this is good. And it is good. It's the best feeling I've ever experienced, just being able to wake up sober. I know that might sound crazy to some people who haven't been through what I've been through, but to me it is an amazing feeling. And then I can get up and I can go throughout my day and come and hang out with you guys here, which is always a favourite part of my week, coming and hanging out with you guys. Before I go, I want to say this, which is, I'm not saying that being sober has been a walk in the park, that it's basically been that I've been blessed since the day I quit drinking. That's far from the truth. The truth is, some of this was hard work. You see, when I quit drinking, I was still left with all the reasons why I drank in the first place. So that aching void remained. Depression and anxiety remained. I know people who got sober and never had a depressive day in their lives ever again. Awesome. Not the case for me. In fact, I'm pretty sure in some respects my depression got worse. I had to deal with lack of self-esteem and lack of confidence. I had to, to deal with self-doubt and worry and stress and resentments, all without a drink. But it is worth doing. It was worth getting through all that, because every challenge I have faced in my sobriety, whether it was bereavement, whether it was breaking up with a girlfriend, whatever it happened to be, when my business wasn't going so well at first, that was, But getting through all those challenges, getting through all those periods of depression that I had to go through to get to where I am now, getting over those early anxiety attacks that I had in the first year or two of my sobriety, getting through all of that was so worth it, because I come out the other side stronger and better than I went into that challenge. I always explain it to my friends like, okay, here's the valley of crap. And when I go into when I face a challenging situation, I go further and further down into this valley of crap. And then I come out the other side. But when I went in to the valley of crap, I was like, here. And then I went down and then I came up. But when I came out, I didn't come out on the same level. I came out here. In other words, I've grown because I've changed, because the challenging situation changed me. And although the change was painful, I grew because of it. And it made me who I am today. And I like who I am today. I no longer have the aching void. I no longer have the anxiety. The depression is still something that I have to work on. But we're all a work in progress, and that's fine. I no longer have the self-doubt. Sometimes my confidence wavers. But right now, making a YouTube video, talking to you guys, I feel fully confident and fully fine. I feel amazing. In fact, I feel far better than I ever did in drink. And I get all these wonderful gifts now, like peace and freedom, and being able to help others, which is really the best gift I could be given. To see other people in my situation and go out and help them. It makes life worth living. And I'm truly blessed today to have this gift. If you're struggling with your drinking, you think you might have a problem, please get help. I don't tell anybody what to do, but I will get on my knees and I will beg you, if you even suspect you might have a problem, talk to somebody, please get the help you need. There is a much better life out there for you. You don't have to move out your parents' box room and start a business and get new friends. But if you want the freedom and the peace, if you want to get rid of that aching void, it takes 2 minutes to Google, to find some numbers, to find a website, whatever you need. It's just talking to a friend. I guarantee you it will be the best move you ever make. And if I can help, reach out, I will hold your hand and we will get through it together. I promise you that. That's all I wanted to say for today. Except to ask you that if you've enjoyed this video, if you want to hear me talk more about addiction and alcoholism and quitting smoking and those things, please, if I've done this right, there will be a little button on this page for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can always follow me on Twitter, I'll put the link down there too. And check out some of the other videos that I did. There was the 1 year quit smoking, 100 days quit smoking, and the most recent one, 5 things that nobody tells you will happen when you quit smoking. Until I see you next time, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.